I loved your dress. Well, thank you. Thank you. Keep buying them.
There's Jane Dawson. Our unauthorized biography of Senator Edward Crawford has only been out 3 weeks, and it's already in second printing.
J.B. Fletcher, someone told me you'd be here. I'm Jane Dawson.
How do you do, Miss Dawson?
Call me Jane.
Mrs. Fletcher, I was talking to our people in promotion, and now that we actually have you in town for a while, I thought maybe we could work up a criminology angle for the book section of the Times.
Well, give me a couple more weeks to kind of catch my breath, and then we'll talk about it.
I loved your dress. Well, thank you. Thank you. Keep buying them.
There's Jane Dawson. Our unauthorized biography of Senator Edward Crawford has only been out 3 weeks, and it's already in second printing.
Well, if you had any plans for the Oval Office, you can sure kiss him goodbye now.
Have you read it, Mrs. Fletcher?
Well, someone sent it to me, but I haven't had a chance.
I don't know how she gets away with it. You suppose all this stuff is true?
Well, I have no idea. But speaking for myself, I'd rather get my fact and fiction in different books.
Well, I better go say hello. Excuse me.
Hi, Jane.
J.B. Fletcher, someone told me you'd be here. I'm Jane Dawson.
How do you do, Miss Dawson?
Call me Jane. So I hear you're in New York now. Smart move. This is where it happens. New Hampshire's loss is our gain.
Well, I'm just sort of camping here. And it's Maine.
We have to talk, J.B. My research people tell me you're a close friend of Arthur Brent. I've got a mingle right now, but I'll call you. We'll do lunch.
Who's Arthur Brent?
Stanley, turn down the volume. You'll blow out your pacemaker. So, the senator's calling a press conference. Wonderful. The more he denies, the more people will buy the book. If he'd kept his zipper up more often, he wouldn't have so much to deny now, would he? Stanley, that's not my problem. The little twit should have divorced him a long time ago. Stanley, I never said that. Gloria Von Damme said that. Look on page 217. There are quotation marks. I've got her on tape. Stanley, you just keep counting the money and let me write the books. What have you got?
Pay dirt. For a weekend in St. Thomas and 5 Ben Franklins, our little clerk at Gledvale Sanitarium came up with her medical records. You were right.
Like I always tell you, Christy, everybody's got something they're ashamed of. All we have to do is dig it out. Take this list of Hollywood people. Get on the phone with your pick and shovel. There's got to be somebody that hated her guts. There always is.
Right. Oh, your sister wants to talk to you, if you have a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Beth?
Hi, sweetie. Got a problem?
Do I have to have a problem to talk to you?
Never. But I am a little busy. Got a new book working.
It's just that I was a little worried.
About what?
I heard you and Steve fighting last night. Is anything wrong?
Beth, don't eavesdrop. And don't concern yourself with Steve. Unless, of course, he ever lays a finger on you, in which case you tell me about it and I'll rip his liver out.
That's silly. I don't even like Steve. In fact, I can't imagine why you ever married him.
It's not that complicated, honey. Steve is tall, he looks great in a tuxedo, and he's terrific in bed.
Jane, I wish you wouldn't.
Look, Steve and I had a little disagreement last night. Nothing serious. Happens all the time to married people. He went out to the house in the Hamptons to cool off for a couple of days. Nothing to worry your pretty little head over, okay? Now look, go buy yourself something pretty. Now get out of here. I've got work to do. Christy, why hasn't J.B. Fletcher returned my call? Jessica, there you are. You are hard to track down.
Actually, Miss Dawson, I'm expecting a...
Right. My girl Christy called your publisher. He said he was meeting you here for lunch. I moved him back an hour so we could have time for a little chat.
I'm sorry, but...
Look, our time is valuable. Let's cut to the chase. You're on intimate terms with Arthur Brent and his wife, Ellen Lombard. I know they've been up to Cabot Cove to visit you a few times.
Arthur and Ellen are my friends, and because they are
so
my
Ellen
friends...
Lombard hasn't made a movie in 15 years. She got 3 nominations and 2 Oscars in the early 70s. Her face is on TV every week. People are still interested in Ellen Lombard. Or they will be soon. As her friend, you could help her.
She has dropped out of public life. All she asks is for a little privacy.
Mrs. Fletcher, you must know that the famous nervous breakdown Ellen Lombard had was really a suicide attempt. I've heard she's hooked on tranquilizers and is heavily into booze and probably other controlled substances. You could protect her from these ugly stories by telling me the truth.
Miss Dawson, I don't gossip about my friends, and I certainly don't talk to somebody who will twist every detail to titillate her readers in order to sell more books. If you plan to write about Ellen Lombard, I advise you not to do it, unless you want to lay yourself open to a very serious lawsuit. I hope you got that on your tape recorder.
My books are very thoroughly documented. I've never lost a lawsuit.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it's quite easy, if you have a stomach for it, to get people to say vicious things about someone, then quote them.
She put herself in the public eye, not me.
I think you'll find that anybody who really knows Ellen Lombard will have nothing unkind to say about her.
Oh, sure. Everybody loves Ellen Lombard. That's why I'll have a dynamite bestseller. When people find out that America's sweetheart is now a lush and a pill addict, they'll be standing in line to buy the book. Why do you think people buy your books? Because somebody gets killed and somebody takes a fall. We're in the same racket.
My books are fiction. Yours are only half fiction. I believe there's a difference.
Let me appeal to your practical side, Mrs. Fletcher. Your name will sell a few copies, too. Play along and you'll look good. If you don't, well, some of the dirt could land on you.
Miss Dawson, will you please leave while I am still in control of my temper?
I love Jane. I think she loves me too, so why don't we just talk it out? And that's why I stopped by class tonight, bring you back with me. I mean, you're the only one she ever really listens to. Or maybe we could sit down, talk it out. You know, be friends again. Who's that?
No idea.
Guess she's got a little company tonight.
Yeah, well, who'll be coming to the house at 11 o'clock? Steve, she's in there by herself. Let's go in. Jane? Jane?
Why don't you take a look in the living room? I'll take a look in the kitchen.
Jane! Jane, you all right?
Jane?
Jane? Jane! Jane!
Oh, God.
No, Beth, don't.
Call the police.
Beth, call the police!